must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
The ingredients of a redemption strategy, if they are done in an opposite manner, can create very dangerous conflict at the end. Are we likely to forget what we saw in 2007, early June, when drums of war were being sung by the same tanks, the same alternatives, the same statements? Do we forget history so much, so quickly? How will history judge us harshly if we repeat what is only 14 years ago, one of the worst nightmares that the people of Kenya had, one of the worst vocabulary that they have never witnessed in such a magnitude. It is therefore very important that at this angle, at this era, at this juncture, what is needed in Kenya today is a redemption strategy. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga initiated what we call a redemption strategy. Any conflict resolution expert will agree that a redemption strategy looks for areas that have decayed, areas that have broken down, souls that are desperate, souls that are violent, souls that have gone for given desperate state of despondence coming in, creation of class struggle can create the worst type of conflict that you have ever seen in our history. Therefore, call upon the people of Kenya themselves to look at this. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Let's move very quickly and close down the chapter this morning. And as you are aware, we have, it is coming to 10 o'clock. We had a problem with our communication. In Nairobi, I was coming to Karanja. Quickly, your point. Class war. You have read my article in the Capital FM, which is broadcasting worldwide now. That's the way to tackle Ruto's men. If they have English, let them also start writing. Class war, class struggle in Kenya. What do you think? Where is it taking us? A warfare. Where is it taking us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. David Matsanga, for that question. And let me say this, the Hasra narrative versus dynasty is something that is not good for this country, because something that is used to radicalize the young people to think that if you own a property, if you drive a good car, that car was supposed to be theirs, but it was diverted through Malaysia's means. That is why they didn't get it. That is why they are so bitter. And we have seen this Hasra narrative and agenda taking momentum. We have seen a car belonging to a hardworking, industrious young man being burnt down, put on fire, simply because it hit a boda guy. And when they were doing so, they were chatting and saying, Choma dynasty, Choma dynasty, Choma dynasty. A few days ago, we also saw a commotion in Nairobi where people called other dynasties because they were overlapping in the roads. And they said these dynasties, they misbehave. Sorry to see this, to say this, doctor. Even in our homes, in our villages, we have seen, even your siblings, when you start getting money, when you start going well, God start opening doors in your life, they start calling you dynasty. Our brother is becoming dynastic. In your village, when you buy a good cow, where you milk 20 liters or 30 liters daily, the people around, they start calling you a dynasty. Therefore, at the end of the day, we are preparing a struggle that will take momentum, and it will not finish the three dynasty families that they have been talking about, the Kenyatas, the Odingas, and the Mois. This Hasrarism agenda has trickled down even to the common mwananchi, where you cannot succeed because of the bitterness and the sourness and the jealous that has been intoxicated into these people who call themselves Hasras. Now these days, doctor, even having a good clothes is a problem, because when you walk around the Hasras people, they'll start pointing fingers at you are dressing well, you are dynasty, and they plan how to get that shirt from you, how to get that shoe from you. Therefore, this thing is a dangerous thing, and if it's not curtailed, it will end up even consuming those who started it. And to say, this hustlerism, who is a hustler? There's not, this hustler is just a thing that is on the air that you cannot define who qualifies to be a hustler. Because we have politicians in this country, like the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who was in custody for 9 years, protecting the constitution, championing for good and freedom of expression, and fighting for good governance, and he suffered for 9 years. Does he qualify to be a hustler because he has suffered? Because those people call themselves hustler, they pretend to have suffered. And when you look at their history, a person like the MP for Madera, Rigathi Gachagua, he comes from a dynastic lineage, if we go by their definition, because his dad was a chief, a senior chief, and those days chief was so prominent. His brother was a governor. He was a DO in 1990s. He was a county commissioner, a district commissioner in those days of 1990s, when DOs and DC were the people who had a say in this country. Therefore, if he pretends to call himself hustler now, we are left wondering, who are these people who qualify to be a hustler? For the deputy president, he has been in the political arena for quite a period, almost 28 years. years, we have not seen, he has not been employed anywhere in this country. He has been in the political field. He has not bettered the lives of these hustlers. If he was a good leader, he could have brought about mechanisms and ways to ensure that we don't have hustlers in the first place. But he has continued involving himself in all corruption scandals in this country, to the point that we have hustlers, and he is taking advantage of his big pockets to go ruining their minds with wheelbarrows and mukokotenis so that they can continue praising him. These are not the kind of leaders that we want in this country, because when you look at this whole scenario, if you are young and you got into politics when you are 24 years, where have you served? And the most of your years you are in school. Therefore, the deputy president who joined politics at the age of 26, he has not served anywhere because most of his years he was in the university and schooling. Therefore, he has not hustled anywhere. He does not know what basics of starting a business means, because he has started his empires when he had all these monies, most of them earned through dubious means. Therefore, in conclusion, this hustlerism agenda is something that does not hold any water, is something that is just there, and is something that is not benefiting anybody. But at the end of the day, the deputy president wants to use the hustler narrative to get votes. And the question that we should be asking, and the hustlers should ask themselves, what is the end result of supporting the deputy president? What are you benefiting with after supporting the deputy president? Because you have seen, even in the newly formed UDA party that purports to support his agenda, all the officials, all the people who run the party, they are big people who are billionaires, the likes of Johnson Muthama, Hassan Omar, Boni Galwale, Murkomen, Senator for Eregeyo Marakwet. We have not seen a Mama Boga in that camp. And this is a challenge to the deputy president in his camp. It is time they walk the talk. Let them support a Mama Boga, a Boda guy, and they to be the presidential candidate, to be their presidential candidate in their UDA party, to have even in the recent Kabuchai by-election, we have seen them campaigning for a man who has money. Therefore, they don't walk the talk and they don't mean what they say. Because if they mean what they say, we could have seen people who come from poor backgrounds in their higher tables, in their strategy meeting, in their big camp. And at the end of the day, I would like to ask those people who calling themselves hustlers, because they are watching, if William Ruto happens to be elected president, between you, Mama Boga, and for example, the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, or Musalia Mudavadi, or Raila Amolo Odinga, who is likely to be appointed as he is in his government? The answer is, he is likely to appoint Musalia Mudavadi more than the Mama Boga who is in village, because there's nothing that connects them. There's nothing that relates William Ruto, the current deputy president, and those Mama Bogas. And in conclusion, does William Ruto tell us that when his kids, when his family members will seek political and elective position, will not be elected because of him who is the deputy president, because he is a dynasty? Therefore, in conclusion, this hustlerism agenda is bad, is retrogressive, is corrosive, and if not tamed, it can bring chaos. As I have said, it is even here trickling down here, where even in families, you cannot do your business as usual without being pointed figures, being called dynasties. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I move to Kidi before I come to Professor to take it out away for us? Summarize it, because I know you have things burning. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me first say that William Ruto is using the young people, the poor young people of this country, who have been impoverished in part by the brand of politics it practices, and secondly by the brainwashing that is currently engaged in, as collateral damage. And I will substantiate that claim. One, William Ruto, since the president and the prime minister shook hands, has been acting like a jealous co-wife. And therefore, he's begun to engage in what I would call, or what economists call, the game of the chicken theory. In the game of chicken theory, it is William Ruto has mobilized leaders from the central Kenya and from other parts of the country in an attempt to scare the president into a surrender. One, you realize that when the president was running the war against corruption, William Ruto mobilized MPs from his Rift Valley backyard and used the elected leaders as a buffer zone against accountability in regards to corruption. Right now, when now he has come with this Hustler Nation nonsense, the Hustler Nation narrative is supposed to excite the young people that William Ruto is speaking for them, while he does not. Why am I saying that he's using the young people as a collateral damage in attempt to fight the president? William Ruto is attempting to demonstrate to the president that he supposedly has a constituency. And therefore, if the president does not acquiesce to his demands, that he can run the country down. Kenya is a constitutional democracy. And we believe that the rule of law must always prevail as opposed to the rule of the jungle. Therefore, one, the narrative that he's running of hustler versus dynasty, that is now leading to lawlessness, even in our streets, where motorists get into an accident and then the motorist car gets banned or lorry gets banned, is a criminality that we must not allow to take root. So going forward, the young people must see William Ruto for whom he is, that his real interest is to be allowed back into the center of the government, where then he could orchestrate the stealing spree, the grand corruption that he perpetrated between 2013 and 2017. But then time has come when doing the right thing has become an imperative. Thank you, Daktari.
Thank you very much for that analysis. I come to Professor to finish it up for us as we prepare to go 11 o'clock. The hustler versus dynasty, Professor.
Yeah. Dr. Matsanga and my fellow panelists, we were all created in the image of God. When you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, God said, let us create man in our own image. And in the likeness of God, we were created, meaning to take the character of God. Dr. Matsanga, when you find a reader coming to divide people among race, among religion, among the caste, among the hustlers, among the poor, among the rich, among the fat, among the thin, Dr. Matsanga, that is very unfortunate. And they hear this, and this one I'm giving the government, they are supposed to pay me because they are using my knowledge. I don't give you free knowledge. What is happening, Dr. Matsanga, is the radicalization of the youth. And the radicalization of the youth is equivalent to the terrorists who are trying to radicalize the young people. And the government is watching. Hear this, Dr. Matsanga. When we had the Arab uprising, you saw what happened in North Africa. They killed our friend and comrade, our visionary leader, Colonel Muhammad Gaddafi, who was very focused and who knew where he wants to take Africa. This is how it started, Dr. Matsanga. It went to Syria, the ISIS all the way, and the Americans wanted to enter to that. But when they realized this is a dangerous group, Dr. Matsanga, they packed. But see the kind of damage and havoc it has caused Syria. You know Syria, you know the history about Syria. You can read it from the time of Jesus, even the time of, in the Old Testament, you know what Syria was a very powerful country. But as it is now, it is no country. What am I trying to say, Dr. Matsanga? Is this. The government should move faster than lightning and thunder and arrest this. And I don't know what National Cohesion and Commission is doing. The chairman, Reverend Kobia, when he comes, so you just look at him, you say, does he have a front, does he have a back or side? So this Asra movement must be stopped. Otherwise, it will bring this country into chaos. Let me tell you for one, Dr. Matsanga, it is sometimes you say who you are. And I have no problem with Dr. Ruto, the president of the country. He's an Asra, it is true. who is an hustler, it is a male prostitute, it is a fraudster, it is a dishonest person. That's who he is. Why do we allow him to train our young people in the name of the hustler and the government is watching? Let me tell you, Dr. Matsanga, there are some of the things which you say that is in the Bill of Rights in the Kenya, chapter 4 of the Kenyan Constitution, which gives people rights without responsibilities. That President Uhuru be called that he has violated the Constitution, but for the sake of the good of this country. So this Asra movement must be stopped, Dr. Matsanga, because what I know, and I have never been a person who insults people. It has never been my culture. Because I can see stupid people knowing the truth. They see the truth, but they choose to believe a lie. What kind of people are those? They are not, even a stupid is a better name, Dr. Matsanga, for this people to be called. They know the truth, they see the truth, but they choose to believe a lie. And that is what Dr. Ruto, the deputy president of this country, has perfected. He has come out about the dynasty. Yes, I have got a problem with the dynasty. I know some people in the Kenyatta era, in the Moi era, in the Kibaki era, Dr. Matsanga, some people have rooted money from this country, both now and before. But the most unfortunate, this one who are being called and that's this Dr. Matsanga. Kenyans were not informed when they were stealing from us. But the Asras want to steal with us when we are informed, when we know. We can't stomach this. Karanja, Douglas and the kid, our honored man here, come out and make noise. Those when they stole and they got away with it. Now you want them to, you know, sometimes when you walk around and they say, who has not stolen this country? I say, oh my God, can you save this country? Now that the people stole in the past, and now you can allow people to steal in the name of the Asras. We must rise up to stop this. And serve us. They want to be used by the dynasty, they want to be used by the Asras. What a terrible country we have, Dr. Matsanga. So national coalition, the president, I know the president, he has got some weapons which he has never used. The president has got executive powers. He can issue executive orders to say that from today, you say this one, it will not be around me, Dr. Matsanga. That's when we can allow, but otherwise, we're talking, this is a small snake. We think it is an earthworm. It is going to become a big snake. It is going to bite us, and we are all going to die in the name of the hustler. This man is so bitter. You know, let me tell you, Dr. Matsanga, I am an historian. I have got a very good memory. Good memory, I have no doubt. I know what Dr. Ruto had before 2007. I know what Dr. Ruto had before 1992. I know what Dr. Ruto had when he became the YK. And I know what Ruto was having between 2007 and 2013. He went to Moi family.
Yes, sorry.
He went to Moi in the name YK. He became very corrupt, and some things which Moi wrote in his name, cars, land, and then he stole from Moi. He stole from Moi, dishonest. He came to Raila, followed Raila, put him the minister for agriculture, a recruitable ministry, Dr. Matsanga. What did he say? Fertilizer and maize, cereal, board. Maize, which is being supplied and there is nothing. That is how he made his money. Then we know Dr. Ruto, between 2013 and 2017. You were talking about the choppers. How do you buy a chopper? Where have you gotten the loan? 100 million. And he's having several of them. And we know Dr. Ruto now, between the handshake and now, how much he has made. That's why you know he's very bitter, because he knows what he has lost. So to move forward, as I submit, Dr. Matsanga, every good Kenyan, every good East African, any good man through an African, and any good human being, let us rise up and fight this class war. Otherwise, it will destroy this country. Because what I know, when you are having a good shot like that, someone will fight me because I've got this pot and it doesn't have one. That's where we are heading. You can see this border, they are bitter. They think that you have never seen these people push Mokokoteng, Dr. Matsanga. You find them on the road, they just knock your car. They just want to walk in the middle of the road as if you are the ones who has punished them. No. Life is like that. We can move together and we can build this country together and we can be very good human beings. I submit, Dr. Matsanga.
Thank you very much, Professor Jared Onyari and the panel this morning. I want to give you 30 minutes to rest as we come back to tackle one of the best topics this morning, my take on the new world order. I think the professor will be very interested, and Kirimi, Kidi, don't go away. Anybody else who wants to join this debate, whether you are in Uganda, whether you are in the United Kingdom, whether you are in Kenya, please, I want the headquarters, the offices, technical team, print our number for Zoom. You come in, don't make arguments outside, don't insult people. We want you to contribute. If you are in Uganda and you are able to access this PIN number of Zoom, we shall open and you talk your mind. So I want to encourage people in the next topic, wherever you are in Zimbabwe watching us, everywhere, please join in and make it very fruitful. I want to summarize in 2-3 sentences or 4 points. 1, the Hassler dynasty is a warfare. We need to get rid of it. The government must move in faster, and the government must stop this. Otherwise, it is killing this country. Mr. President, and your government, I'm not in Kenya, but I'm just telling you as a friend that a war struggle, a class struggle, is very difficult to stop when it has gone beyond. A class struggle is dangerous. A class struggle can create a violent uprising. A class struggle can dismember your state. This morning, I was penning up at about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. of European time. I penned an article in Capital FM, one of your television radio stations. It is doing rounds and they are making headlines on it. On the Hassler versus the dynasty. It is a very bad narrative for Kenya. It's a very dangerous narrative. And very soon, people will be banning people with tires. Because once you do something, people come with tires and put on your car and they say you're a hustler, you're a dynasty. Class struggle is very dangerous. If you look at the class struggle that was caused, by Jesus Christ. Remember, Jesus Christ fed 5,000 people at the port of Capernaum. But how many people found Jesus Christ and ate the real food? How many people ate the real food? Hasn't it brought us the inequality that the professor is talking about in Syria? Why are some countries going to dismember Syria? Because Syria was the base of religion. It's a class struggle. If you have seen where the port of Haifa, Capernaum, today is called Haifa. That's where Jesus fed 5,000 people 2,000 years ago. But Jesus left while people were eating. And he went ahead to heal. You know, those who have read the Bible, he went ahead to heal. He went ahead to heal somebody who had called him because there was a sick person. He did not wait. The people who were coming on a canoe from Galilee, the other shore of the Sea of Galilee, they found the remnants. They did not eat the real loaf as it came out of the oven of God. And a preacher will tell you that class struggle is the most deadly warfare that you can reintroduce in the world today. You saw America and Russia. They have the same skin. Are they not white? They are all white. Can you tell the difference between a Russian and an American when you put them together until you bring the class struggle? The class is brought in the middle. The Russians say we are communists. The Americans say we are capitalists. The Russians said we are going to the moon. The Americans say we are going in a different moon direction. You come and join us later. Cold War was caused by class struggle. Do we need to bring a class struggle in Africa today?
No.
Do you need to have a class struggle? In Uganda, Bob Wine is under lock, key under lock, because of class struggle. The president has the manpower, the soldiers to send. There is a class struggle. Lock up people. Lock up that younger man, deny him food so that he can surrender his wife. You know, the African people have a different way of wanting to take away your wife or your child or your chat, or they want to steal your car. They start by saying, oh, the tires seem to have a puncture, so that when you drive towards the petrol station, they waylay you and take your car. Yet there was no puncture. So thank you very much, viewers. We come at 11 o'clock with a very important topic. My take. And to translate it to be your take. My take is your take. Kiddies' take. Professor's take. Javani Karanja's take. Douglas Kirimi's take. My take on the new world order that started yesterday. It's a very interesting subject. And I invite all students of Makerere University, Nairobi University, Harare University, London School of Economics, those who are watching Canterbury, those who are watching, let them see whether there is a new world order or it is business as usual. Has Joe Biden opened up a new direction for the world? Is NATO coming back to work? How long will NATO work? After 4 years, shall we continue with the democratic policy, democratic party policies, or another one will come and revoke? Is it worth to have parties that revoke every 5 years? Our topic is very huge. You can tackle it from any angle you want. And I want to see how my panel is vastly. You are a chicken grower in Nanyuki. How is this new world order going to affect you? Will you be able to sell your eggs directly to US? Since there is Kenya Airways flying to New York, how much vegetable from Kenya is eaten directly in the United States? Will AGOA return to AGOA, which AGOA we had? How will it affect Kenya with the new trade cooperation between Kenya and the United States, which President Uhuru Kenyatta signed with Mr. Warfare? We have Mr. Trump warfare over the other side. is not different from Ruto.
How
So
you go?
that is the topic coming up at the top of the hour this morning. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you for watching me this morning. I stood in for Miriam. Thank you very much in Nairobi. I think let me go back and have my breakfast. I woke up very early, and then we meet at exactly 11, which is 8 o'clock. It's at London time. Thank you very much. God bless you.